What's going on, everyone? Tony Ivanov here with another video lesson, and today I want to talk about the overall market and what my thoughts are on it. We've been having some pretty hefty red days in the market, and we actually just locked in our biggest red day since 2016, which is, a pretty big deal. And it's definitely affected how we day trade our penny stocks. There's been a lot less volume, a lot less money pumping into these stocks, and just a lot less just spikes in momentum and follow through in these stocks. So we have to be a lot more conservative with the few weeks coming up, and we have to keep an eye on the overall markets. As traders, we have an obligation to understand what is the overall market doing, because like I've said many times, most stocks follow the overall market. So if the overall market is red, there's not going to be that volume, there's not going to be that volatility, and there's not going to be those huge opportunities that you can make big money on. Now, I'm not saying that trading is dead forever. That's not at all what I'm trying to get across. I'm just simply saying that right now it seems like we're going into like this period of the markets potentially becoming a bear market, and during this time we have to be a lot more conservative. We have to use a lot less risk, and we have to aim for extremely small profits of 10-20 cents per share. We cannot hold on for these big halt type plays, because we had one today, and after the halt it just slammed right back down. It didn't have that same volume, whereas if that happened a few weeks ago, I mean, it would have spiked up 100% or so. So we have to understand as traders to watch the overall market and understand what the overall market is telling us as traders. So I'm gonna get all into that in a second, but first, if you know, every single day I give away $25, and it goes to a random commenter of the previous video lesson. So we're gonna do that right now. Last video we had 130 unique commenters. Thank you all so much for the support, and let's see who won the 25 bucks. So if you're new to the channel, all you need to do is leave a like, leave a subscription, leave a comment down below, and you'll get a chance to win $25. So here's Toppy. I need this money to begin trading. Hope you win. Or says hope I win, and you did win. So I will send over that $25 in just 1 second. Let me copy paste this here. Give me one moment. Okay, so I'm right here trying to send the $25, and unfortunately it looks like I'm having some issue with PayPal. Not working right now, so I'm going to contact them after this video, but I'll be sure that is sent out to you. So thank you very much for entering the raffle, and like I said, I'll be sure that money goes out to you. So let's get right into this lesson. So today, the only stock I traded today was BSPM, and the reason why I traded this stock is because, well, actually, I was looking at my stocks during pre-market, because unfortunately I slept past my alarm. So I woke up like 7 minutes before the market opened, and I jumped up, ran to my computer, I turned on my live stream, and I was like, okay, what should we watch? And if you watched my video lesson last night, my game plan for today was, okay, right now the market is not very hot. It's pretty shaky. So I changed up my strategy, and instead of buying the first initial run up of these spikes, my plan was to wait until we have a nice level of pullback and consolidation until the next leg up, and buy that next breakout. So I was looking at BSPM mainly because this was the one stock yesterday that had the highest hopes of having that second leg up. So I was watching it, talking about it, saying, okay, this one had its best chances yesterday, so maybe it will have some volume today. And boom, right when the market opened, it had that volume. So I was watching it right at market open, it had that volume, and I did not buy the initial spike. I didn't want to buy that initial run up, mainly because, as we saw yesterday, every single stock that was spiking up, it would go up for 10, 20, 30 cents, and then hold there for like a minute, and then just slam right back down, and get everyone stuck in the trade. So that's why me and so many traders, we took our small losses yesterday. So today, wanted to revamp my strategy and see if I could have a winning trade. So here's BSPM. We had the initial run up right here, like I said, and then we had this pullback, and we were holding levels of support. So right when I saw this, I was saying, okay, this looks pretty strong. It looks like it's holding support, and it looks like it's gonna have its next leg up. So about like 3 minutes after it had the next leg up, had some nice volume, it broke over this high of the day here at $4.10. So right there, boom, I bought my shares, got an average of around 750 shares at $4.13, I believe it was. And then we popped up, we found this next resistance, which on the daily chart is the high from 2 days ago. And I was saying, okay, if we can break over that high, then we should definitely see a, you know, a nice U-shape play breakout here and have a nice squeeze up if it gets that volume. So we hit that resistance, we slammed right back down, and because of, you know, yesterday and the days prior, a bunch of these morning spikes were just slamming back down 10, 15, 20%. I wanted to be sure that I was not caught in that type of drop. So once I started to see signs of weakness, the first sign of weakness that I saw was, okay, it held up that resistance, that multi-day resistance, and then in the minute after that, on the 1 minute candle, you can't see it right now because it happened within 1 minute, but basically what was happening was on level 2, the buyers kept on going lower and lower and lower and lower, and at one point they weren't even reaching above $4.15 anymore. So once I saw that, I was, you know, worried about it having a big crack, so I sold my shares very early to protect myself. So on that trade, I basically took no loss. You know, I had to scratch on that trade, thankfully, and right afterwards, it did have that crack down. It broke below VWAP, and momentarily hit a low of $3.92. So I'm glad I wasn't stuck in that position, because that would have been a bigger loss than I wanted it to be. It did bounce back up, but you can see it was just very, very choppy today. There were no real good patterns to trade, and especially when you don't have a big account, you can't really profit with a stock that's in this price range, because, you know, let's say you have $2,000, you wouldn't even be able to buy 500 shares of this stock, and say that the biggest profit potential you could have had was 20 cents. The maximum amount you could have made is $100, but that does not include brokerage fees and everything else. So really not the best type of play today at all with your small accounts. You know, stocks like this, it had a 1.19 million share float, and it just could not get that buying volume. And the reason why is because the overall market today was had a pretty big collapse today. The Dow Jones, like I said earlier, locked in its biggest red day since June of 2016, and that happened because of the job report in the US was higher than expected. So that caused a hike in the interest rates. And if you know anything about the stock market and its past history, whenever the interest rates go higher, that usually causes the market in general to you know, lose its momentum and start to pull back, because with higher interest rates you cannot borrow as much money, and it's not as profitable to borrow money. So overall, there's less trading and liquidity going on in the economy. So that had a big impact on the market. And we also had some large companies that had their earnings this morning. I think it was Google, Apple, and Facebook had their earnings, and they were all worse than expected. So those all had pullbacks as well. So you had the big large companies not do so well with their earnings, so that caused a pullback. And you also had the job report doing better than expected, so that caused a pullback as well. So overall, we had a very big pullback on the Dow Jones of around 667 points, so down around 2.5% within 1 day, which is it's pretty big when you talk about the overall market. If we look at the daily chart, you can see this looks like the backside of a spike, and it is overall from its top, it is down. Let's see, from the top it's down almost 5%. So we're getting into the territory that we could almost classify this, you know, as being like a downturn and a correction and a possible entry into a bear market. So with that being said, we have to be very cautious with our trading. I'm not saying that this will be a bear market, but you know, some of the signs are there. We have been in this market for the past 9 years, and we've been constantly breaking out the new highs, and we've had this amazingly strong bull market, like I said, for the past 9 years, and that's one of the longest you know, stretches that we've ever had in history. I believe this is the longest bull market in history. If not, then it's definitely the second longest. I don't know if that's changed recently or not, but for sure it's a very long bull market. Just keep it at that. And usually these runs do not last forever. As you know, the market moves in waves. There's spikes, and then there's dips, and there's spikes, and there's dips, and you know, this could potentially be the end of the bull market. So if that does happen, we have to rearrange our trading strategies. We have to be a lot more conservative with our trades. We have to be a lot smarter with our trades and be a lot more selective with our trades. We cannot use as much money to trade, especially if we still have small accounts, because with a small account, the more money you lose, the harder it is to get back. That's just a mathematical fact with it. Say you have $1,000, you lose half of that. If you want to gain back to $1,000, you have to double your money now. So it's easier to lose half than it is to make double. So with your small account, really use the idea of capital preservation in these next few weeks, and just give the market some time, and then once we have like a tiny bit of more data, we can see, okay, is this just a quick pullback, or is this the start of a bear market? So I don't want to you know, make you guys worried. I just want to make you guys informed about what's going on, and we're actually seeing the same exact thing happen in the cryptocurrency market. So you know, with these happening at the same time, it does look like it's a bigger indicator of a larger economic pullback. Let me just bring up the cryptocurrency charts real fast, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Yesterday Bitcoin broke below 8,000, which, you know, last month it hit a high of 19,000, so it's on a major pullback, and that's because of the increased regulations and the Tether fiasco. So I'm actually no longer trading cryptocurrency right now, just because of the tax burden. If you're trading crypto in US, I recommend you read my blog post I posted about 5 days ago. I'll leave the link down below in the description, but it talks about why I'm no longer trading crypto at this time, not forever, just at this time. And the main reasons are because of the tax burden. When you trade crypto, every single trade is a taxable event, meaning every single trade you do, you're gonna have to report taxes and pay taxes on that, which I know many of you take a bunch of trades, so that's going to be very hard to track every single one and pay taxes on every single trade. And the reason for that is because the government has classified crypto as a property, not a currency, and not like a stock. So because of that, there are different tax implications, and whenever it exchanges hands, you have to pay tax on that, which is going to be very difficult for someone like me who day trades. So because of that, I decided for now I'm gonna stop trading crypto, and I pulled out at almost the exact right time. So you can see Bitcoin right now looks like it's on the backside of its move. If you did not know that this was the Bitcoin chart, and you were not biased towards it, and you knew technical analysis, you would look at this stock and say, wow, this is obviously the backside of its move. It has broken below all of its main moving averages that have been holding it up for the past 2-3 years. It's making lower lows and lower highs, and just overall is on a downturn. Not sure how long this will last, of course. With Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, there's also a worry that the price in the past 5 months has been insanely manipulated, and it really should not be this highly priced. There are some concerns with the Tether and Bitfinex using their currency and making the price become manipulated in harmful ways that could really bring down crypto if it's true and it becomes revealed. So keep in mind right now that cryptocurrency is taking a downturn. Stocks for now are taking a downturn, so be very vigilant, be careful, reduce your risk. I'd recommend holding some cash for now and being very liquid. Don't get stuck anything that you cannot sell immediately if it does start to go against you, because the signs are there, but it's not 100% certain. So I just want to bring you guys this information. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm not trying to just spread fear, but you definitely need to be aware of what's going on if you want to be a long-term profitable trader. So those are my thoughts. I just want to show you Ethereum too. Like I sold my Ethereum 5 days ago, back when it was just tapping 1200 barely, right? Not on Kraken. Let's look at Coinbase. So I sold my Ethereum right here on the 28th, right when I was tapping 1200, and then you can see yesterday it hit a low of 732. So I got out right at the right time, because it does look like it's gonna start to have a downtrend as the markets are really hurting and bleeding. Not sure how long this will last, but we'll definitely keep a watch on it, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated on what I see and what my thoughts are within the coming days and weeks. So stay tuned for that. If you want this information as soon as possible, click that subscribe button so you're notified right when I make a video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you saw this content valuable, like I said, leave a like, leave a subscription, leave a comment down below for a chance to win $25, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching.